the live, like, where are you? You're so late. Hi, everyone. We're so sorry. Well, it's not Megan's fault. It's mine. Good morning. See, now I feel like we need to share this a little bit because it's not going to do the reminder to everyone in all the groups. It's okay. Maybe someone will share it for us.
Because we are late.
We're late. We're late to the party. But hi.
Hi.
Hi. So we are so lucky to be hosting Voice for You class coming to Canada. And we wanted to talk about Kelowna. Yeah, my town. You're soon to be Megan's town because they'll just announce to everyone that Megan's moving to Kelowna. Sure, it might be in my mind, but it's happening.
I live in two places at the same time.
Yeah. But we wanted to talk about voice, like, and what was kind of percolating, hi, Johanna, was where your voice can actually change the world. And like what kept playing was like, Megan, you're a performer, so you sing, you do comedy, like you use your voice. I use my voice in facilitation and that kind of stuff. So let me ask you, what do you know about how your voice can actually change the world?
Yeah, and a lot of it isn't verbal.
Say more.
Well, just you, like your presence and your existence is you speaking non-verbally all the time. So then there's this willingness when you actually use your voice to speak to all of it. Yeah. And you don't even know how you influence the people around you in the moment. Like people will come to you. I'm sure that you've experienced it, and probably everybody, where someone will come to you even years later and say, hey, that thing that you said to me totally changed my whole world. I didn't bother to tell you until 8 years later, but FYI.
Yeah. That's so beautiful, because I think some people think, oh, right, Voice for You or classes like that or whatever that is, that's for people that are like extroverted, that want to perform or that are talking. But yeah, you are being a voice, and something that shows up when you say that. I'm looking at how much of that is the willingness to be seen, like just to and be included. Like I have, you're in a social interaction, right? And people are laughing and they're talking. And then are you the one that like kind of fades into the wallpaper? Not that wallpaper is really trendy anymore, but like.
Yeah, who has wallpaper?
I don't like that. Like, you could have a feature wall in like a bathroom. I think that would look really nice.
Or like the strip at the top of a kid's bedroom.
Right. Oh man, that's so 80s. That's good. Yeah.
Well, I think part of it is a willingness to be and take up space, like to be everything that you are and not be like, oh, I shouldn't be here even if I'm not talking, but actually like I'm here and I'm in this interaction no matter what it looks like, even if it's silence.
Yeah. That's something you're so beautiful at. I've noticed, like, you don't have a need to speak. You have a willingness to speak, but you don't have a need to speak, but you're always being there.
Yeah, and a lot of it, thank you. A lot of communication happens in our heads too, like, or seemingly in our heads. And it's really cool to start to acknowledge when that happens. Like I like to to speak to it. If someone says a thing that I was just thinking, or,
Yeah.
you know.
Yes, I'm still with you. Someone was asking for the link to the Facebook Live because it got all messed up. And sorry, Rita, you're right. It is unmuted now, but Cassie messed everything up this morning.
Well, maybe there's something about being 15 minutes delayed that is perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what's cool actually is being late or something like that. Would fluster me. Like I would spend half the live being like, I can't believe I did that, and oh my god, and like why was my laptop not letting me just change the time? And like while I'm talking, but I'm like really like in here, like having a whole thing. But one of the gifts of showing up for me is being committed to like being with all this. And so I've learned how to like dump the chatter, dump the judgment, and been like, oh, hi, well, I'm here now. How much fun can we have if I'm actually here when I'm here? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what if your voice could change the world? One of the things I love about facilitating and working with people is that there'll be this point, especially I would say in like a foundation class, perhaps, is you see that person that's been kind of quiet. You can tell they're like, well, it doesn't really matter if I ask a question. It doesn't really matter if I'm here. Like, I don't really matter. I'm just going to like kind of be in my own little universe here. And then there comes this point where I had this one woman, she starts the day, like I barely pressed record and she's like, I have a question. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, I'm sorry, but I'm taking over. And I'm like, okay. And then she was like, blah, blah, blah. And it was like this claiming that she matters, you know, that her question matters, that she is valuable, that she matters to be here. That's so beautiful and exciting for me when that shows up. It's like one of my favorite things to watch when someone goes from excluding themselves to including themselves and knowing that there's a value in that. And what if your question changed someone else's world? Doesn't that change the world?
Totally.
Yeah. Hi, Suzette. Good morning to you. I'm not usually on so early.
That's
That's Megan's fault.
That's my fault.
There was faults.
I am available early in the morning or in the evening.
So what else can we speak to this morning? I still recall like taking a Right Voice for You class in New York. You remember we stayed at was it a hostel or what was that?
It was a
YMCA.
Yeah, I think.
I loved it. People were like crazy, and I'm like, I don't know, I love it. Like we literally have Central Park. It's like our backyard.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. But that class itself, the Right Voice for You stuff is, and I have this is the New York manual. Look at it. It's the old logo, 2016, baby. Like graduation of 2016. But the class itself, I wouldn't say that I had an issue with public speaking, or I was never drawn to Right Voice for You because I was like, oh, I'm shy or I'm quiet, and I require it. And I know some people do. They do it for like, I want to be able to speak in my business. I want to be able to do Facebook Lives. I want to be able to do these things that terrify me. But what I love about Right Voice for You is that it can allow you to be you in any communication situation, which could be nonverbal, and it can be verbal. But
Yeah.
that's, go ahead.
I think it's a willingness to be anything and everything in every moment, whether you're in front of people, with people, by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's an invitation to just stop judging you, period. And acknowledge that you are a gift.
Yeah. So has
Every
it always,
single one of you.
Megan had her serious face on. Did you hear that? You get that poke? So what, oh gosh, that gift thing. It's like, for me, like changing the world is, if you change anyone's world, including yourself, you've changed the world. You know, we're all connected. We're all in communion. And it's even like, you know, people that are good at writing cards, like they write like the most. I know, it went weird, but like the greeting
can I
card. You get a birthday card.
Do you mean the person who writes in the greeting card or the person who creates the greeting card itself?
No, I've never actually really like Hallmark, no offense, like been like, oh my God.
Okay, thank you. Just checking.
But you know, it's pretty generic. You are wonderful. The world is great. And you are great. And then, but then someone will write something and you read it and you're like, oh, like it like changes your world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what if we have this capacity to be with someone in that way, but it's this stuff in front of us, these layers of pretense or this image or this perfectionism or trying to get it right thing going on that keeps us from showing up in whatever that miraculous way is that we can use our voice, our space of being to change the world with.
Yeah.
So everyone on here with us, thank you for having coffee with us. I see like at least 10 viewers, and maybe some on, yeah, woohoo. Even though we were really late, you guys came to play. Thank you. But if there's anything that you guys want us and Megan to like tap on or contribute to for you, let us know. Like, what are you creating that you have almost like a separation between you and being the voice for it. Like I think about being the voice for your business, you know, being I've had to be the voice for my kid, my autistic kid for the last year dynamically. And that was a really interesting experience and exploration for that. Maybe it's writing a book and like you're being the voice for it. So what can we contribute to you? What are you desiring to show up more with that we could contribute to you like having that right voice, your right voice? It's not judgment, it's not right and wrong, it's just a manipulation that Gary used. Megan, how do you, when you write songs, what's that like? Were you always writing from you and from your voice and your awareness, or was that something that you kind of like developed over time?
That's a good question. I think I've almost always just allowed it to be, like, without trying to make it be anything. So, which results in not a lot of content. Like I don't have a lot of songs, and I will sometimes be like, "Where are you? Like, where is the rest of you?" Like that's a really great line. So I think songwriting has actually always really been for me. Like So there'll be like little pieces that come to me. Like I've never felt like I'm doing a thing. It's more like flowers showing up in my life that I'm like, hello. Did that answer your question?
Yeah. So I mean, I'm getting that you just naturally be that. How beautiful is that? And your songs really do have that sense of vulnerability and that sense of like where, for me, one of the like indications of vulnerability is when I can like clearly sense someone or touch them through whatever medium it is, like through, whether it's a writing, a song, a video, and when it's like, oh, there's nothing in the way, like, wow, I can really connect. So through your songs, it's always been that way. Like I'm like touching right on whatever it is you're singing to, you know? And I see that even with comedians, like I think I find them the most funny when they're reaching into something in their world, and like you can tap on that and you're like, oh my God, that's amazing. Or public speakers. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not really about performing, it's about connecting and like enjoying and moving and touching. And at least for me, like if it's just contrived and about putting on a show, that's not really so fun for me.
Right. Oh, okay, that's so cool. That's so cool because I love entertaining. Like I love you know the movie The Greatest Showman?
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh, fucking love that show. And like it's like, but what I think is great about entertainment is that you can trick people. Now everyone knows my secret. Oh, you trick people into receiving because their barriers are down. Like you're like, oh, and like you're the greatest show and it's spectacular and there's lights and there's all this stuff and you're like, oh, the songs, the music, and really they're like touching on like, this is me. Like I'm the misfit and I'm okay. And it's like, but there's something there. It's not just the fluff. It's like, that might be like the foreplay that gets you like all riled up, but like the trickle of possibility and in the invitation that's with it is what's so exciting. Oh, Rita says, I've written a book. Contributions to getting it published, please. Yes. Oh, Rita, I want to know what your book is. I'm so curious because I know some of the stuff you're interested in. And I'm like, what's it about? Let us know what it's about, Rita. Megan, can we contribute to her book getting published?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyone else have stuff that they're using their voice for? They're something coming up and they would like to I don't know why this is happening, but it's really light to just contribute to people. Like maybe they have a class that they're going to facilitate or a performance or something. They would like contributions to. Yeah. It's about my X-Files life. Oh my God, that's what I was hoping for. Rita, I need to read it. Tell me when it's coming out. Oh, Claire, you're writing a book too? Oh my God. Yay. Books are so cool. I love books. I'm writing a book too. Let's all write books together and sing together. That's another thing. Can we talk about that for a second? Where there's this kind of lie, I think, that if someone was to show up, like the other person has to give them the spotlight, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you saying that the audience is like diminishing themselves or contracting?
It can be.
Or not also willing to take up space?
Yeah. Yeah. I actually remember okay, maybe can I talk about this on Facebook Live? So I was at the strippers.
Yes, you can totally talk about strippers.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, right? And I was at the strippers, and I was like on like up front row, Abby, because like why else would you be there?
Always.
And always. And I was there with my boyfriend, and like, you know, it was getting hot, and we started to make out. And like afterwards, she came up to me, she goes, "That was really disrespectful." And I was like, "Oh my God, what was disrespectful?" Like I couldn't even contemplate. She's like, "You were taking all the attention." And I was like, "What? How was I taking all the attention? Like we kissed twice." Like I'm like, but I remember she was so upset with me. Like, and I remember going like, "Oh my God, like what was I supposed to do? Like, should I have dimmed down? Like, how could I have made this work for her? Like, you know, where do we do that where we're always like worried about, especially people that naturally pull out of energy? Like, I don't want to take all the attention. I don't want to take attention from someone and you know, like diminish someone's performance or whatever." Yeah. I want to like talk and pot all of a sudden. Like everything matters and everywhere that ever happened to you. Well, you destroy it and create it. Maybe it wasn't a stripper, but you know, like a sibling or something. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pot, all nature's boys, bobettes, and beyond.
Well, it's interesting that you say that, and I don't know if this is still on topic, but as a performer, when I'm on stage, to me, it doesn't feel like it's about me. That it's actually an inclusive experience and that you're co-creating it. Even though we have somebody who's performing and someone who's receiving, it's actually like life, a gifting and receiving all of the time. And you're actually tapped into, I am, as a performer, tapped into the worlds of the people that are in the room. And it's like, oh, what can we create in this moment that's unique in this moment that isn't recreatable because of all the people that are in the room, right? Like everybody is part of the creation if they're in the room, whether they're choosing to not be or are, you know, like that's a choice too.
Yeah. That's so beautiful. I find that with facilitation too. So I'm the facilitator, but it's not like the Cassie show. It's like this we're like co-creating. Like it really feels like we're all opening up universes of spaces together, and we're all a part of it. So did you? Again, I want to keep asking. Like, is that something that you learned to be? Was that something that you just always were? I mean, I know your father was a performer. Like, did you observe this in people and then you did that as well? Or how did that show for you?
I think that for sure, like songwriting and performing are different for me for sure. And being willing to be in front of people and with people has been a learning process for sure. In terms of letting go of the barrieredness or like trying to prove something or get it right or not disappoint somebody.
Wow. Woo!
So a lot of these like Access Consciousness, Right Voice for You, Bars, Foundation, all of these classes have been part of that, as well as Toastmasters.
And did you do Toastmasters? Yay!
Yeah,
I always kind of wanted to do it just for fun. I haven't though.
It was good for practicing being in front of people and like doing it all the time.
Yeah.
As well as the open mics, you know, just getting out there and doing it.
Yeah. One of the tools I love from Right Voice for You is because I would get like massive amounts of energy because, you know, people, they're flowing tons of energy at you, right? Or they're pulling massive. So you have all of it going on. So there's so much, and I'm very aware of energy. Like I always have been. So sometimes it would, like when I was a kid in high school, if I was going to like go give some presentation or even in college, I would have no sense of like nervousness because I'm like, I don't really care. Like I'm just going to go do this thing and I'm going to mess around anyways. But I would like start to vibrate and it would look like I was so nervous. And I was always like, almost like as if my body was like betraying me. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, people are going to think we're nervous and we're not nervous. So with right voice for you, like learning, oh, it's energy and how expanded do you have to be, because you suddenly have this like influx of energy running through your body, and like, oh, and I don't have to have a barrier to the energy coming in or coming out, because you're like, ah, and just and that just changed. And then like I could, sometimes at Gary and Dane classes, you go up and you make an announcement. Well, there's thousands of people there, and you're just like, hey, what's up? And my body didn't shake anymore. And I'm like, oh, wow, that one little thing. I just didn't know. That there's just a lot of energy running through the molecules of this little body. Yeah. Some really, really freaking dynamic tools in this. So, okay, we've been on for 25 minutes. We should probably wrap it up. But let's tell people a little bit more about the class in case they're excited to come to this class. It's going to be 3 days in Kelowna, BC, Canada. And I know some of you can't fly here, but some of you can fly here if you want to. And Megan, you were with me. We went to the Delta Hotel here in Kelowna, like right down by the water. Well, tell them how amazing that venue is.
It's spectacular. It's right by the water, like you said, and just spacious, nice restaurants, staff.
Oh, I love the staff. Samantha, she was like, I want to hang out with her. She's so awesome. Yeah. And Sylvia Puentes is coming. So she's coming to Canada to facilitate this. And I think one thing I'm really excited about is Canadians, and Megan's Canadian. But Canadians were so, like, how much have Canadians been the wallpaper of the world, like, we just don't disrupt anything. We'll just fade into the background and just be polite about it at all, and like,
sorry.
Well, this year Canadians have been like, sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry too. Sorry. Let me just disappear so I can be a little less sorry. Well, have you noticed that this year Canadians have been the most like loud and spoken and direct that we've ever been before? Like, it's so amazing. Like, it's inspiring me. And what if it got greater? Like, what if this Right Voice for You, what can this Right Voice for You class contribute to all of Canada? having its voice, the people having its voice, the land having its voice, the beings here having its voice. And Kelowna is just damn sexy, by the way, guys. Like, it is like, yeah, wineries, lakes, like everything here is gorgeous.
Live music.
Maybe Megan will sing.
Oh, I will, guaranteed.
Yes. Yummy food. We've got like lavender farms, and you saw the pic, so beautiful, right, Suzette? Oh, it's so lovely. I really love Kelowna, especially in the summer. I was like, Sylvia, if you're coming, you need to come in the summer because it is the most amazing place here. Yeah, so we hope to see you at class with us. We're going to have a really good time. Yeah. Oh, it just froze. Oh, you're here.
We're going to have
time. And then it was like,
we're going to have so much fun.
So much fun. So thanks everyone for joining us and having this conversation with us. Thank you, Megan, for having coffee with me this morning.
Thank you.
Where's your coffee? Did you have your nice mug? Is it stars? Aww.
My coworker. It's like when you wish upon a star, and then it's got constellations. Yeah.
Wineries, yes, Suzette. Like, so many wineries, and one of them has a pyramid. This is the one Megan and I often go to because they have the most delicious wine. And then, like, after they make the wine, they stick it in the pyramid for like a certain time, and you can go into the pyramid. It's interesting. More on that later. If you come to class, we'll tell you all the secrets.
All right.
All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.